This is probably going to be the most important video that I've ever made, so please stay tuned, because inside of this video I'm going to give you the actual roadmap that anybody can use to go from zero, broke, to over $1 million. So if you are getting distracted by watching cat videos and you're only here to kind of poke around, then this is probably not going to be for you. But if you want a very serious change in your life, then listen up. Hey, it's John Armstrong here. Welcome back to another 5 Minute Friday. This video is probably going to be around 10 minutes long, so it's not going to be 5 minutes long. But inside this video, I'm going to give you a roadmap to follow so that you, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what your financial situation is right now, can take this and go from $0 broke all the way up to $1 million plus. Okay, this is the roadmap that you need to follow. Is this for entertainment purposes? No, it's not. This is really actually serious, and you can use this information and you can make a ton of money. Is this financial advice? Because I know a lot of YouTubers are like, oh, this isn't financial advice, this is just for information purposes. Yes, this is financial advice. So please listen up. Okay, so this is broken down into 5 steps. We're going to start with step number 1, and that is to work and save. Now I know what you're thinking, oh, I don't want to go and get a job, I don't want to save money, I just want to press some buttons and make a ton of money from the internet. It doesn't work like that, okay? Well, it kind of does work like that, but you need to know what you're doing first, which is why you need to go and earn some money. Now, you can do this with a boss, or you could do it being your own boss, right? So here's with a boss. You could work in a factory. I've done that before. You could be a cleaning service. I've also done that before. You could work in a bar. I've also done that before. You could work in a restaurant, cleaning dishes or whatever. I've done that before. You could work in a hotel, you know, cleaning the rooms and making the beds and stuff like that. Whatever you've got to do, these are some of the low-skilled jobs that you could easily go out there and get. And you could work for a few months and get some money together. If you want to not have a boss, not work for anybody, there are also options. And I've done all of these before in my life too. You could go and wash people's cars, right? No matter where you are in the world, I'm pretty sure people have cars, right? You could just go and wash people's cars, knock on the door, ask if they want their car washed. Depending on where you are in the world, you could charge them anything between $2 if you're in a developing country, all the way up to $10 if you're from the West, right? You could walk people's dogs. This is a service that everybody needs. People are lazy to walk their own dogs. They need somebody to walk their dogs. You could be that service, right? You could wash people's windows. People always need their windows washing. You can make some good money there. Gardening, or if you just don't want to leave your house whatsoever and you have some kind of skills, you could go over to a website called Fiverr.com and you can start offering your skills to other people that need your skills. For example, you're good at writing, you could offer your skills on Fiverr. For example, you're good on video, you could offer your skills on Fiverr. You could make some very good money on Fiverr just by offering your skills. So there's always options. Now, don't make excuses, because you can either make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both. So listen to that again. You can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both, right? Also, beware of dopamine. Now, dopamine is a drug that is released into your brain that just wants you to take the path of least resistance, and for the most part it just wants your brain to be entertained without doing any kind of work that's going to cause any stress on the brain. So that's why things like video games are so popular, you know, browsing YouTube, watching Netflix, because it's just feeding your brain with entertainment without you actually having to do anything about it. And that is pretty dangerous, because a lot of people, they get caught into that dopamine cycle, and that stops them from actually making a significant change in their life. So beware of that, okay? Also, beware of temptation. Once you start working and you start earning some decent money, there's always going to be temptations. They are everywhere. They're on all the billboards, they're on all the ads on Facebook, they're in all the shops, they're on everywhere in the high street. You could be tempted to buy a new pair of sneakers, a new pair of jeans, a new top, you know, any kind of clothes, a new gadget. But that's not going to help you. Remember that. You want to work and you want to save as much money as you possibly can. And this is going to take discipline. And it's going to take you saying no to these types of temptations, right? Save every single penny. And you're not going to have to do this for too long, provided that you save as much as you can. If you start spending money on trainers and stuff, it's going to take a lot longer. But if you you could do this in a couple of months, because all you need to do is get together $1,500 to $2,000 or maybe even $3,000, right? Depending on where you live in the world, it could take anything from a month to 6 months or maybe even a year. I know in Indonesia the wages over here are not that good, but it's definitely doable. Wherever you are in the world, even if it takes you up to a year to do this and work and get together $2,000 to $3,000, just do it, okay? Just do it, because your future self will thank you for it. So get the money together to buy a coaching program. Now, it doesn't have to be mine. I'm not saying you need to go out there, work your ass off and go and buy Ministry of Freedom. You don't have to do that. If this is not for you, you don't have to. There's lots of other options out there. But the reason why you need to get a coaching program is because if you just try and go out there and do it alone based on just YouTube videos that people have made for free, it's going to take you a lot longer. Why? Well, a lot of these YouTube videos are outdated, right? They're not relevant right now in 2021. So you might be wasting your time on outdated information and it might not work anymore. Secondly, if you are just trying to piece everything together from YouTube, you're on your own. If you have any problems or roadblocks, which you will have, trust me, you don't have anybody to ask. You don't have anybody to ask to help you fix that solution. Whereas with a coaching program, you do. You have their support staff, you have a community, you have step-by-step training, you have live Q&A calls where you can get your questions answered. So the reason why I'm saying you need to go and get yourself a coaching program is because it's gonna ensure that it's gonna take less time for you to get where you want to be, because the ultimate goal here is for you to build your own business. Now, the great thing about an online business is it generally only takes you to run it. You don't need to have a big team. You don't need to hire anybody. You don't need to hire a premises or anything like that. Back in 97 or 98, when I was growing up, the only type of business that you could have would be a physical business, because the internet was still in its infancy. But right now, in 2021, you have a massive opportunity to build a business that can make even more money than offline businesses with just yourself running it. So in order to know what to do to build that online business, I strongly recommend that you go out there and you get some kind of coaching program, because your learning curve will be like this instead of like this. Doing it alone could take you literally years. Doing it with a coaching program might take you a couple of months, right? Now, there's lots of options out there. You've got e-commerce, drop shipping. There are thousands of coaching programs about e-commerce and drop shipping. E-commerce and drop shipping is only going up. There's more and more people spending money online versus going to the high street. So that's a growing market, and you can get into that. It's not too late. You can still get into e-commerce, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, the stuff that I do. I personally prefer that. Each one of these has its own pros and cons. Like with drop shipping and e-commerce, you don't necessarily have to go on camera. You don't really have to do any branding, because you just brand your store and you're using other people's products. But for me, I prefer affiliate marketing because I like branding myself. I like going on videos. So there are pros and cons. Also with affiliate marketing, generally you don't have to ship any physical products. So you don't have to deal with tracking numbers and all that kind of stuff. Those are the cons of e-commerce and dropshipping. But this is your choice, right? I'm not going to tell you which one you should get into. You can also do lead generation, CPA marketing. There's a ton of different options, but do your own research. Find something that resonates with you. Find something that you want to do and go out there and learn how to do it. And more importantly, get a coaching program that comes with support, that comes with live Q&As that can help you out, right? So get yourself a coaching program and master it. Do not give up. It is going to be tough. There's going to be all kinds of roadblocks that are going to come your way because you're new to this. And the reason why generally only 5% of people succeed is because those 5% just don't give up. They stay consistent, they do the work, and they just don't give up. 95% of people, when they hit a couple of roadblocks, they're like, oh, this doesn't work, I can't do this, and they give up, which is a real shame. So don't be one of those people. Be in that 5% that does not give up, right? Beware of demotivation. This is another thing that makes people quit, because they don't see results in their first few days or in their first few weeks. So again, they think that it doesn't work because they get demotivated. The answer or the cure or the solution to that is discipline. Discipline can take you places that motivation will never be able to take you. Motivation works when you get some results and it rewards yourself and you get that good feeling. But discipline is the action of doing it anyway, even though you don't feel like doing it, or even though there's no motivation for you to do it. Discipline is a little voice in your head that says, do it anyway, you lazy beep, right? Discipline is going to solve that demotivation issue, so bear that in mind. Also beware of shiny objects. Shiny objects are going to pop up in your inbox or online or on ads all the time. If you start getting focused on e-commerce and then you start getting these ads saying, oh, affiliate marketing is the best thing ever, don't get distracted by it. Remain focused on your goal. You chose e-commerce for a reason, so stick with it, right? Don't get distracted by shiny objects. Don't listen to your friends and family. Most people, they have no idea how to run an online business. Most people think an online business is a scam. Most people think that anything sold online is a scam. Don't listen to them. This is not a scam, okay? So don't listen to friends and family, because they're only going to tell you that you are losing your mind, that you're never going to succeed in any kind of business, blah, 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 blah. They're just going to try and put you off. So don't listen to them, okay? Remain focused. And continue doing your side job until you replace your income with your online business. So continue washing people's cars or walking their dogs or working in the bar or whatever you choose to do. Continue doing that until your online business is able to start sustaining your lifestyle and sustaining your needs, right? So master your online business so that you can craft and generate what's called a cash flow business, right? A cash flow business, or effectively a business, is a vehicle to allow you to print money. Now, once you start printing money, again, do not be tempted. Try to keep your lifestyle as low as possible. Okay, the stuff that you've been doing while you've been learning how to build your business, while you're working in the bar or washing people's cars, your lifestyle is not going to be super extravagant, and keep it that way. Trust me, keep it that way. Don't be tempted. Once you start printing money with your cash flow business, don't start buying expensive watches, sports cars, renting yachts, going on private jets, because that is another mistake that a ton of people make. Once they start earning $100,000 plus per month, they just go nuts and they think that they're already super rich when they're actually not. They go out there and they buy all these expensive clothes and Gucci things and sports cars and stuff, and this is not the time to buy that stuff. You can buy that stuff later, but just hold yourself back. Trust me, it's going to be worth it, because this cash flow business is going to be printing money that you are going to then put into investments. Those investments will double, triple, 10x your money sooner or later, and then you can go and buy the Lamborghini or the Ferrari or the Gucci stuff. You can buy it then. If you start spending money on stupid things right now, it's only going to take you even longer in your cash flow business to be where you want to be. So instead of it taking maybe 2 or 3 years, it would then take up to 10 years, because you've blown all of that potential investment money on stupid shit, right? Don't do that. Keep your existing lifestyle, live frugal, learn how to reinvest into your cash flow business, and learn how to scale your business. So instead of generating $100,000 profit a month, you can learn how to scale it and generate $250,000 a month or $500,000 a month. That is what your focus needs to be on. Also, for any of the laborious tasks that you have in your cash flow business, build a team, right? Build a team that can handle those laborious tasks. So your focus is only on customer acquisition. and the general running of your business. You're just overviewing everything that's going on in your business, delegating tasks to your staff, and you're focusing on ways to get more customers into your business and scale it. That becomes your focus then. Again, save every single penny of your profit. Now we get on to step number 4, which is investing. Now, this is where I cannot give you financial advice because you need to do your own research, right? There's lots of ways that you can invest your money, but the general rule of thumb that I'm going to tell you is that you need to look for something that's going to generate you 10 to 15% returns per year. These are not difficult to find, okay? You're not going to find them by going to your bank and saying, give me an ISA account or give me a high yield interest account, because you're probably just going to get maybe 1 or 2%. That's the way that the banks do it. You're not going to find that stuff in a bank. You need to go to places like Vanguard. I don't know if you've heard of Vanguard, but you can go and search Vanguard on the internet, on Google. On Vanguard, you can buy all kinds of different assets like stocks, bonds, index funds, mutual funds, and not real estate or crypto, but you can buy those other funds via a platform like Vanguard. So go and do your own research. I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. You need to do it yourself. You need to do your own research. You need to look at how the company's performing. Don't just look at if it's giving 10 or 15% a year. No, you need to actually study the company that you're going to be investing in. So I'll leave you to do that. But the other options are real estate is another great one, especially if you are in a developing country, because from my understanding, I don't do real estate myself, but from my understanding, in the West, you can get quite low interest rates on mortgages, so it makes it very viable for you to be able to invest in different properties, mostly using the bank's money, and then you can either flip those properties or rent those properties or do whatever you want. The other option is crypto. Crypto is and has been growing and growing and growing and growing ever since 2011. And it's at a point right now where it's about to have some exponential growth. So it might be a little bit too late if you're just getting started with dog walking and stuff at this stage. If you already have some money, then crypto is a great option. Again, do your own research, but it's always going to be a good investment. And then, okay, once you have chosen your investment of choice, then we get into step number 5, which is called compound interest. So what you need to do here, and this is exactly what I do, is you need to figure out your monthly expenses. What are you spending your money on every month? And what does the total of those expenses come to every month? For me, it's around $7,000, right? For you, it might be different, and if you live in a different country, it might be different again, right? You need to figure out that number, and to do that, you need to write down all of your income and your outgoings over the space of maybe 5 to 6 months, so you can get an average of your expenses per month. Once you have that figure, then you need to calculate how much you need in a certain investment to be able to sustain that amount every month, right? For example, for me, my expenses per month are $7,000, so I need to find something. Let's say it's going to give me 10% a year. I need to find something. I need to put, in order to get $7,000, I need to put $70,000 at 10% would be 7,000, but that's not per month. So you need to do some maths, and you need to figure out the investment amount that you need to put into an investment that will basically pay you monthly to cover your living expenses. For me, it's $7,000, right? Once you've done that, you put that money in there and you have your expenses covered. You're basically making complete passive income for doing nothing. You can carry on doing your cash flow business, you can carry on working if you want, and just keep on building your profits into investments, right? So you have one investment that you have which is paying your monthly expenses, and then you have another investment which is going to be compounding for the next 10 to 20 years. So these investments are probably likely to be equal. You probably put $1 million into the one that's going to sustain your monthly lifestyle, and you put another $1 million into something that is just, you're not even going to touch it for 20 years. All of the interest earned on this other $1 million investment is going to go back in and back in and back in, and that's going to compound. Let me show you what this would look like. So you could go over to Google and search for compound interest calculator, and this is pretty fun. So I've just put in here, the initial balance is going to be $1 million, right? And you're going to get a 10% interest rate per year, and we're going to put this in for 20 years. We're not going to touch it, right? With 0 monthly additional deposits. You can also keep running your cash flow business and keep depositing money into this if you want, but I'm not going to do that for this example. We hit the calculate button and watch this. That $1 million in 20 years time turns into $7,328,000 for doing nothing, right? Then after 20 years, you can take that money out and that becomes your retirement fund, and you can have a lot of fun with $7.3 million, trust me. So that is basically the roadmap to go from absolute zero to over $1 million plus. And I really hope that you will implement this. This is the exact roadmap that I followed. I did it I started in 2017. I started getting good results in 2018. So let's say from the beginning of 2018, 19, 20, 21, and we're nearly into 2022. So it's taken me 4 years to get to this point. It might take you 3 years, it might take you 2 years, it might take you 8 years. I don't know, but either way, it's going to take you a lot less time doing this and creating an online business to generate cash flow and put it into investments than it is if you go out there and you get a 9-to-5 job for the next 40 years of your life. Okay, if you put that $1 million into a compound interest for the next 20 years, you're going to come out with $7.3 million in the next 20 years. I very much doubt that you can do that with a 9-to-5 job. Okay, that's why I'm saying please take action on this, right? So I'm just going to summarize everything now. Step number 1, you're going to work and you're going to generate some money so that you can afford coaching, right? Coaching on how to generate or how to set up an online business, okay? Then you're going to learn how to make your cash flow business. You're going to build your cash flow business, okay? That might take a few months, it might take a year, right? Either way, you need to learn how to do that and do not give up. Step number 3, you're going to run and scale your cash flow business, and this is going to become a cash printing vehicle that you can use to take that money and put it into investments, which brings me on to step number 4, invest as much money as you can. Make that money work for you. Step number 5, compound your investments and retire. Okay, pretty simple. All you need to do is take action on this, because it's all right you watching these videos and then just going off and watching some cat videos or something else, but unless you actually take action on this stuff that I'm telling you, it's not going to work, and you're just going to remain where you are right now. That nothing's going to change unless you make it change, right? So please take action on this, and you can start right now. You can start knocking on your neighbors' doors and asking if they have a dog that you can walk or a car that you can wash, right? You can start this ASAP. The sooner you start, the better, right? So take what I've just told you and do something that your future self is going to thank you for, because in the next 5 or 6 years after you've completed this, you can just kick back and do whatever you want for the rest of your life, knowing that you have money compounding in there and money that is paying for your monthly expenses without you having to do anything, without you having to lift a finger. And that is a great feeling. Yes, it is going to take effort to get there, but it is 100% worth it, you know? And I'll leave you with a quote, okay? Being broke is hard, right? Being financially independent, like what I've just told you, is also hard. The beauty of it is you get to choose your hard. You get to choose. Do you want to be broke the rest of your life, or do you want to be financially independent? Both are hard, but you get to choose your hard. On that note, thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Take care.